Hello everyone, this is Anamaxu, and today I am going to sort of showcase RedStar. RedStar is actually the DPRK's operating system, also known as North Korea. Their systems actually run on Linux. They have been deploying some of their operating systems now, and they're moving away from XP, and they have been switching to the Linux kernel. And I think this is actually Linux kernel version 2.6, I'm not sure, but it's not the latest though. This is it, and right here you got a KDE desktop, sort of the older style of KDE, and this is their software. They have an antivirus, sort of like firewall, security management, flagging here, and of course have tray icons. You got a date. So basically it's a full-fledged operating system. It's just that they rebranded and they added some stuff to it. In example, their Office suite, which is based on OpenOffice. You can sort of start it up and see how it is. They have native support for Korean and Chinese, and I believe some kanji, Japanese. Oops, I'm not fluent in Korean, so just bear with me. And so you got this word processor right here that looks identical to Office 2003. So you got Western text and Eastern text, and Russian, I believe this is Chinese, English, and of course every single function is built in, no surprise. Save, and save it to the desktop, and of course you can save it as an OpenOffice document, a Word document, sort of like the older style document, rich text format, text, and all those things, even an HTML file, all the things that the OpenOffice suite used to have. Save. Let's take a look at this. So there's the about window. Say OK, and you can just go ahead and exit. And so there is. You can also have Excel type of office. I believe this is the one. So this is their Excel application. Go to the start, settings. Oops, this is actually run. So they do have that sort of like Windows compatibility in terms of the GUI. These are the settings. And you have all the stuff that KDE used to have in here. And World Wide Web. This is highly interesting. You got it here. It's called My Country. I wouldn't pronounce it in Korean because I would kind of sound embarrassing. But here it is. It's actually an older version of Firefox, and then they built it into the system. And of course, there is a package manager that you can get a hold of, and if you do some conversions, you can sort of like put some apps in here. It does work. There's nothing weird about it. You can actually browse the Western web. There's nothing funny about it. About the web browser, it's the same old fun old Firefox. Doesn't display anything funny or such. You can just go to Apple Macintosh and you can display this Western website on it. Things have changed over the years, and this version of web browser doesn't do things very well anymore. Oops. So this build is typically around 3 years old. I am not aware of version 3.0, RedStar 3.0, or anything of such nature, but it does do its job on basic web browsing. Their system doesn't really have any Java built in just yet, so they really don't need full Java or Flash performance. Can take a look at that one. So you can look at maps, and so it does have those things on it. It does have Java and Flash. You can look at the news, And you can sort of see that trying to actually embed the Windows Explorer interface, so you can see that kind of styling here, that the scroll bar from Windows XP. That's that. That's the web browser. Got this thing right here. They have built an emulation layer, which is based on Wine. I don't think there's anything better about that one, but it does work. This is their help file, RedStar 2.0. Got a link here. Most of this is kind of outdated. This is an older version of the operating system, so they don't have anything new. Oh, and by the way, here are the performance requirements, and of course this KDE version of the operating system requires a Pentium 3 or Pentium 4 running at 800 megahertz. AMD, Opteron, and Intel with 64-bit support. Maybe that's what they're saying here. I believe so. And 256 megabytes of RAM. Quite smoothly, and honestly, the machine will run in 512 of RAM and maybe a gigahertz processor. No support for, I think, PowerPC or ARM just yet. And I believe these are the printers and scanners that they have in the support kind of status. They tested, and they said that the RedStar is okay to use with. Some Chinese printers, some Western printers, and all sort of stuff are compatible with the operating system. And KDE in overall. Close that one out. Got also the file manager. Basically the same thing as KDE. It's just that they make it a little bit more friendly to and localized. That's their main objective, to make it sort of user friendly to that region. This is their sort of like console, and you can do stuff on it. I don't think there's any restrictions on it. I do know there is actually before we do all this technical stuff, there is a media player they built in. I'm probably thinking it's based on something else too, but this is their scan. It's pretty neat. Looks like a Winamp, the old kind of MP3 player for Windows. Looks neat. Also got security here, I think. I think it's encryption or security, I'm not quite sure. It runs in the background. So I believe this is like an encrypted system thing where you can drag and stuff here. I'm not sure what happened, but if I knew Fluent, I would probably be able to encrypt it. Probably based on TrueCrypt, I guess. And firewall. I think this is actually something that they built by themselves. So that's something. Let's see what that is. Firewall. So version 2009, version 2.0, 2.0. That's their sort of email address, support email. Oh, by the way, now since we're getting to the technical things, VirtualBox does have some trouble getting sort of implemented into the system and adapting. They don't really know how to. VirtualBox and Oracle doesn't really know how to do things with this operating system. So I mean, you can run it and maybe something will happen, but in reality, there's no driver support. I'm guessing that they customize the operating system to the point that some drivers really don't run anymore, and it's just built for their sort of like specific hardware. So it's kind of doing a script command, but it probably won't do much. That's still to be kind of researched for, because if you want to virtualize RedStar 2.0, then you're gonna kind of have a performance issue. But it kind of runs fine without drivers. Calculator, kind of fun. So they built in KDE. Games, of course, they do. I think they have built a game in here. I'm not sure. Just have to try that one out. But yes, there are some stuff in there that they kind of package on their own, and base it on not really anything else. Got the typical game option there, and scanner. So you can sort of see they have the dialogues from Windows 2000. You also have a PDF reader, so they do have their sort of like kind of notebook line. So I guess they sort of started to groundbreak on how to do some ebooks and how to, you know, send files electronically and such. This is their help system, and of course, as a major part of the operating system is the help guides. You know, they teach you how to do things. And that's their PDF system. We also have some stuff in here, just for the fun of it. We can go over a character map, I believe. Yes, character map. Some Asian text, of course. Media player, accessibility. They do have this right here. I believe this is their the KDE's default web browser, of course. And I'm not sure if this actually can browse the web or this is just an HTML viewer, simple one. And just say yes. And there you go. You got a different web browser. This is Conquer, and they did build it on here. Let's see what they say on that one. If I messed up on something, just forgive me. I really can't tell sometimes some of their characters say. And of course, you know, they got the typical Windows 95 thing where you can sort of click on something and it sort of shows you. Maybe you can. So it probably is telling you you can go back. And to see how flexible maybe this web browser may be, let's type apple.com. See what happens. So they still have some problems with the older build of Conqueror, etc. Install from CD, of course, and you know, information. So you got those stuff in there. I'm yet to find that emulation layer they had from Wine, because they did have something. And by the way, this actually has a second disc that you can sort of find, and you know, that's where the Office suite came from. I'll make another video about that most likely. And that one has like extra software that they sort of work on separately, other than building stuff above KDE and implementing them with their own GUI and language. So package manager, I guess. So indeed it does have compatibility with some regular apps, but in terms of updating the actual whole operating system, it's supported by them. So if you try to put something like a upgrade for KDE Window Manager, it will work, but some stuff will be out of frame, may not display correctly. Address book, I believe. Oh, actually, text editor. Sorry, KDE. I don't believe KDE has a text address book by default. Clipboard, I guess. Yes, I think. And network, of course, they show you network usage. Sound as usual, visual. And yes, you can. This operating system does have support for widescreen. If you put this full screen, it does work. And, yeah, it's pretty neat on that. There's some stuff in here that they probably took pictures of for wallpapers, I guess. Um, so trying to get a hold of that. Oops. Sorry. Put it back. Put the window sort of back. Yes, it does have sort of the colors and things on it. Get the window back on position. So they do have their wallpapers. Let's see. There you go. So there's the wallpapers. You can sort of, they do have the texture system. They did include all the stuff on Windows XP. They sort of like took it all and put it in. There you go. Put that one in. Oops. I'm not used to KDE, so it gets a little tough sometimes to be able to sort of like find out what those buttons mean. See if that control key works, so you can sort of scroll it. Get those wallpapers. There you go. So those are the landscapes they have. Kind of interesting to see what they took pictures of and put in the background. Landscape, outdoors, the default operating system wallpaper. There's some pretty neat stuff they put in that makes the operating system unique. And so that's RedStar OS. It has the same thing, security. You can lock it. Well, sort of put a wallpaper and screensaver, I guess, and lock it and you're done for. Oops. We kind of quit that. Lock. Since I did with the screensaver, it does display the screensaver, but oops. Go back. Let me take off the sort of show you how it looks like from the logon screen. Take that one away. So and yes, they do have the default wallpapers and screensavers. I don't want to be here forever and find out which one is, but you can sort of like find it. Oh, and yes, by the way, they did leak this build, and it is indeed available. Many torrent websites, I guess. I had this file for a long while now, so they so you can sort of get it from a torrent site. But it is really interesting to look at. The operating system has a build version of 2.0 and it was built back in 2009. So I'm not quite sure if they have anything new, but I'll be very interested to see what's going to come very soon and what they will have. Quite special and classic, to say the least. It's something that it's kind of unique to have. If you have a netbook and are tired of Windows 8 or Windows 7 or the default Linux and you just want something highly colorful, mainly for these colors and the background, you can go for it. And most of the time it will work because it has the default kernel drivers. So most of the time you can just install it and on the go, and you can even carry it on a flash drive. And so guys, that's the RedStar OS. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe. Thank you.